Hey guys, it's me Chan again. So because right now Duet Night Abyss already done with the CBT one, I want to do my impression in here regarding all the CBT one, and they kind of address like the post CBT. They kind of address what they are lacking and what they will fix. So I think I'll just including everything in here. So yeah, let's get started. So let's start first with the story. So the story of Duet Night Abyss is pretty much like why the name is Duet. It's basically dual protagonist. So let's say if you choose male protagonist, you will have another female protagonist. If you choose female, you will have another male protagonist, and you will have this dual perspective. So yeah, whenever you start the game, just a little bit spoiler, you start like typical MC, you don't know anything, you just forget everything, and suddenly you have companion, and your companion named Berenica in here. So while you kinda going adventure, not just like too long, suddenly she will kinda getting captured by like nano, I don't know, some of organization, not really sure if it's actually bad organization or not, but yeah, we kinda getting separated, and yeah, it's pretty brutal actually in there. So after we get separated, we kinda like getting thrown basically from cliff, and someone save us, and yeah, that's where actually our adventure begin. We meet people, the city, and we will actually realize, wow, actually the city have some racial issue, discrimination, because there's couple different race in this game. So yeah, these deep differences from the race also one become of the problem. And yeah, actually the story actually starting with a lot of violence, dark, and you will, I would to say, have to expect a lot of people die. So, and also they will not scared to kill literally anyone. So don't get too attached to any character. I don't want to spoil too much, but I already give you sign. Don't get attached to any character. I say like they literally have weak nerve to just kill like anyone in here. Well, for me, at least for any gacha game that I play for a while, I think this is the most brutal one in a while. They really not scared to kill people in here. And yeah, actually the story for any gacha game that we can say for the starting point, I think this is one of the most also interesting too. Because usually other game, let's say Bua or even Genshin, Star Rail, it took a while for you to getting I think attached. But this one is just almost right away, because I think they know how to make phasing, how to make like intensity, like to getting attached quite fast. And I think this is actually quite like unexpected, because I don't expect that the story of Duet Night Abyss will be that good. I think like at the best I will think like it's mid, but no, but actually the best selling point right now in this game is the story. And yeah, after we proceed, will change to different perspective into other like MC. So yeah, that's quite interesting. We have like this dual perspective too. As for the art and the graphic, the one that I want to talk, the art are actually pretty good in general. The one that I want to say, the one that a little bit lacking is the graphic. For me, for this type of like current game order era anime gacha game, it's a little bit outdated. Especially you see graphically, it's just like as all like Genshin type engine like that. So it's kind of outdated. For me, I'm not really find it's a big problem, but I know some people will find this as a problem. So yeah, you will see the couple of the character kind of lack of details. It just feel not as good, like especially if you want to compare like recent like release character art and Anvil, it's just even better. GFL, Girls Frontline, also really good model. Wua, also really good model. But this one still feel like kind of behind compared to recent gacha games. And now let's talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay, I will start first for the non-combat, which is the world exploration and yeah, something like that around it. And overall, the world is not open world, so it's semi-open world. It's very similar like Honkai style. You can move between different maps, fighting enemies, something like that. For the interesting part in here, you basically have stats. So if you talk to the people, don't just replay randomly. And this actually stats is very important for you to do some of the quests. If you don't have enough stuff, you cannot do certain quests. So yeah, make sure for you to choose your like kind of stats carefully in here, because it's really important for you to do your progression. But it's not something that impossible, but of course if you build the wrong like stat, it's kinda make you a little bit struggle to kinda like catching up. In very short, if you ever play any Persona game, yeah, that's very similar like that. And now for the combat. So for the combat in general, it's only one player only. You cannot switch out between any party. You can only use one, and then if you want to change again, you have to change manually. You cannot like switch in the middle of the battle. And you will have two AI partners. So very similar if you play Aether Gazer, yeah, something like that. So one playable, two AI. And then yeah, it's just action, combat, action RPG. Very similar like Warframe. Every single character in here can equip any single type of weapon, which is really good. So everyone will have shared the same moveset of the weapon. You can use like sword, you can use like polearms, even like any gun. You can just switch between one another, which is really good. But of course, each of the character in here have specialty. So if you equip like the weapon based on their specialty, they will have bonus something like that, which is I think also another interesting part in here. But it's not necessary you have to follow. It just like give you bonus. Overall, the combat is pretty much quite fast-paced, quite similar like Warframe, and yeah, each of the character have like two different like unique skill that make it different between one another character. However, in my impression in CBT1 right now, the two different unique skill, it's not enough to make them feel different. The main problem is that most of the character in the CBT2, the character roster, unique skill is summon. So at the best, you will still use all the same base moveset from the weapon, while their unique skill is just summon. So you cannot just literally feel any differences. So the one that can you feel different is only the one that have active skill, and even then some of them that have like active skill is just 1/2/, so it's not feels unique enough. I wish like, oh yeah, if I use this skill or ultimate, I will move to different state that I will have like unique moveset in my weapon, something like that. So I hope it bring more real uniqueness like that. But so far I know in terms of active gameplay, they just feel pretty much the same. Let's say we give you example, there's one character that summon for heal, the one that other give summon, oh I just have more guns, I will just summon more guns. Idea is still pretty much the same, summon, although they do different thing, it just feels summon and just feels samey. So the more you play different character, you doesn't feel like you play different character, you just feel like I use different skin than feels different character, because the way you play is just too samey, because most of the character only have like summon. And for me, like if unique skill only about summon, it feels a little bit too lame for me, which that's why I already addressed in the feedback that I hope the character will feel more distinct and feel more unique to play, because especially gacha game, you want to pull for character and feel they different, right? Doesn't want to feel they just same, but this one just feels so kind of samey. There's one also like Genimon. This is similar like pet. It gives you additional like helpful stuff, or you kind of recover HP or stamina, something like that. It's nothing super like crucial, but it's similarly just like pet. As for the modes, daily and grind, something like that, in general it's pretty much like standard gacha game. You spend your energy or stamina to get resource, something like that. But a little bit complaining here, the grind is pretty long for the daily, because like I think the fastest one of them, like literally to spend stamina, is literally 3 minutes. So if you want to spend everything, it can be over 20 minutes. And so far, the other game that I play usually only like 15 minutes done or even less. This one like kind of 20 minutes and above. So it's quite a long. And they have weekly that you need to do 50 times in order to get like the weapon blueprint. So I think it's quite a little bit too long for the weekly and daily stuff. Maybe if you really want content, this is really good, but if you people that busy, this is I think a little bit too long. And for the modes, so far in CBT, they don't really have another. It's only like story and this like daily farm. They don't even have daily quest yet available. And they only have one mode, which is roguelike typical mode. This is their event in CBT1. And this is just very similar, like simulated universe, like the Wooden Wave roguelike mode. I forgot what the names. So yeah, you just like enter the dungeon, you get the card, select the buff, buying the buff, something like that, and proceed to the boss. Yeah, it's very similar like this roguelike type mode in any gacha games, which is I think it's fine. As for gacha random, there's couple banner. For sure, the beginner banner, it's 50 pull. You will get the character any from the standard random, but it will be discounted 8 per pull instead of 10 wishes. So it's kind of like typical other gacha game. Another banner is standard banner. The PD is 90, and then of course you can get either weapon or the standard banner character in here. As for the limited character banner, it's quite interesting. So basically for the first copy, so if you haven't pulled this character, it will be 100%. Afterwards, if you really want to get the duplicates, it will be 50-50, and the PD is still the same, 90. As for the limited weapon, it's 80 PD and 100%. So yeah, in general for me, this type of banner is alright for me, because at least the first copy is 100%. So for the lowest banner, free to play, it's you have more accessibility to get. You don't have to worry about 50-50. But of course, if you're a big spender, then yeah, it will be just like no different with other like big gacha game. And lastly, regarding the enhancement system, it's pretty much also quite straightforward like other like typical gacha. You can enhance your skill, weapon, character level, and in here the one that make unique, which is the demon wages. This is quite equivalent like artifact, echo set, something like that, whatever that gives you boost stat. But the good stuff about this demon wages that all the substat is basically whenever you enhance, it's already fixed, so you don't really have to worry to deal with RNG. So it's actually less grindy. And the uniqueness also about these demon wages is that is the slot. So basically they don't have any set effect, but if you put like the appropriate slots in here or placement, usually you will get the discounted slot, so it will make them more efficient for you though. So in general, I feel like the enhancement system is quite straightforward. I don't think you will have hard time also to catch up, especially if you already play a lot of different gacha game. I think you will quite understand like literally quite fast. And lastly, the very good things about their enhancement system is that you can basically just craft the 5-star weapon, that the one you get from gacha, just by farming from the weekly boss. So if you get the blueprint, then you can get that blueprint of that weapon, although it's random, and get the enough material. You can basically just create without you have to pulling the 5-star weapon from the gacha itself, which is really good function in here. I'm not really sure for the limited, but so far the one that in the standard you can basically create, which is it's already very good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all my impression regarding Duet Night Abyss. Overall, this game is pretty promising. I think if you like action combat, especially you like Warframe but in the anime kind of like vibe, and you might be like this game. I think the strongest point that surprised me is actually the story. It's quite interesting. Do you have like double perspective? It's dark and pretty violent. They don't even scared to kill people in here. The combat for me in general is also still pretty much fun. You can try different weapon in one single character, feels quite diverse in terms of base moveset itself. However, of course, I still have my little bit complaint, which is the main complaint is the character itself, especially if you talk about graphic. It's not really that detailed, and of course in terms of the playstyle of the most of them just feel very samey, because I don't know why they make the character roster in here mostly summon, so we mostly just use the weapon attack, and then we don't have so much active skill. There's no like kind of transformation that make it so different. Yeah, mostly the character I feel quite a little bit lacking in terms of gameplay in here and the detail model. And of course the grind, if you're really busy, I think it can be overwhelmed for you because it's quite long compared to other game. Yeah, I think so far that's what my highlight on CBT2 on this game. So yeah, in here basically they already do their review on the CBT one. For me, overall they quite nail it. I think the one that I already highlight before is that the character model, they want to make more detail. Of course, they make the island also better. Improving the animation, visual effect details, yeah, that's also what I complain. Streamlining the lengthy commission, like basically I would say the daily feels so much longer, so this one they want to make it kind of like more streamlined. I think it's better to make it faster, because yeah, daily if it takes too long, I don't think busy people can catch up. Make it also the demon wages have a better reward. I think this is also nice. And you have couple the optimization in here, enhancing story, pretty much like voice acting. I think this is pretty much a general stuff that they have to do. It's already pretty much obvious that it still janky in terms of animation and everything. The further nice of customization keybinds, support for the controller, finally higher FPS. This is always nice. Better personalization, it's always nice. Enhancing UI, everything about something like that. That's always nice that they did. Also, the adding more like independent tutorial system for demon wages, I think it's good. So because in CBT, of course, it's bare bone, like so like not so much tutorial. I think this is just pretty much an obvious that they want to do. Also like improvement like basic movement, wall climbing, everything. Just make it like polished to become smoother though. And of course, they say in the further they want to of course unveil more brand new weapons, characters, and of course fresh story and Mr. Okay, this is actually overall from what I see, they pretty much quite nail it. The one that I'm still a little bit worried is for their character, that they haven't mentioned that to make it more like variative, to feels more distinct. They not really address maybe this one like introducing more interactive elements, but not like specifically like stress into the character, which I hope in that, because for me gacha games, if the character feel all the same, it doesn't feel you pull character, just feel you pull for skin, and which I hope that they can fix it though. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I think overall from CBT it looked promising. From what is the review, also they quite like nail it what they want to do in general. So I hope for the next maybe CBT or maybe even release, they already pretty much nail it. So yeah, I'm still looking forward to this game. It has promising stuff. So I'm just a little bit worried about the long term about this game. Yeah, in general, still pretty much positive and looking forward with this game. So if you like this video, feel free to hit the button, like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.